So who should not opt in for a career as a freelance developer? Again, I want to stress this. Freelancing is not for everyone. Um, there are definitely people who should not be developers. But firstly, time management skills are key. Definitely understanding how much time it'll take to um, complete a project, to implement features for a client is huge. And not only that, um, sort of understanding how much time you need in a day to sort of complete a project is key as well. Even if a project takes 40 hours to complete, you may have only 4 or 5 hours in a day to sort of dedicate to your project. So sort of understanding your own time, what it's worth, how you can best implement that as far as completing a project is very, very key. If you have problems with that, a traditional 9 to 5 might be better for you. Um, Requires individuals to be self-starters. Those who have difficulty motivating themselves will find it harder to finish projects. Yeah, so if you're a guy who or a girl who takes a while to get started, you drag your feet, you do stuff at the last minute, um, freelancing is not for you. You definitely have to kind of hit the ground running as soon as you get a project. You get on it, you jump on it, you do the work, and you finish it. If you need someone to sort of be on your back, or you sort of need that sort of motivation of coworkers or manager, or that sort of environment to get your work done, then freelancing is not for you. But if you are a self-starter, if you are proactive and do your best to kind of get work done in a timely fashion, that's definitely something I think would be good for you. Freelancing often has periods of feast and famine, which make it difficult for those with poor money management skills to succeed. Uh, Easier to read than say. But when I'm talking about feast and famine, so as a freelancer, there are periods of feast and famine. Essentially, periods where you'll get a lot of work, and then periods where you'll get no work. So you might be putting in as a freelancer, you might be putting in 50, 60 hours, 1 week, and then have no work for 2, 3 weeks. That's just sort of the ebb and flow of freelancing, um, and that's something to sort of consider. So if you do set a rate and you finish a big project and you've worked 3, 4 weeks, and you have a lot of money coming in, uh, maybe don't spend that on something frivolous, or sort of understand that this money isn't a steady stream. There are periods where you'll get work, where you won't get work, and you'll have a trickle of work. While over the course of a year, if you're a successful freelancer, you'll make a sizable income. The periods at which you get that money will be sort of intermittent. So that's definitely something to take consideration as well. So again, feast and famine. Sometimes you'll get big bursts of work and make a decent amount of money, and then there'll be periods of famine where you'll have a few weeks where you don't. It all ultimately evens out. But if you have poor money management skills, and you sort of spend money as you get it, that's it. Excuse me. May not be the best role for you. Um, so as a freelancer, you'll be talking with many prospective clients. Introverted individuals will have trouble communicating and marketing your skills. So again, it's definitely a field where you need to have soft skills. You need to, not only communicate with the people that you're talking to, clients, that sort of thing. You also want to, excuse me. You also want to be able to sell yourself. If you're introverted, if you're shy, and I know a lot of people in the industry are, freelancing may not be the best bet for you. It may not be the best sort of career choice for you. But it's definitely something to take into consideration. If you are introverted, it's not impossible. I've definitely seen introverted freelancers have success, but it's more difficult for them to sort of communicate with clients, and sort of best discuss sort of the best ways to sort of complete their projects for clients. Oh, I wrote that down twice. Okay. Understanding your technical limitations and setting client expectations in line with them. Those who can't do this will have trouble keeping clients. So best way to sort of secure clients and get clients is to keep your past and present clients happy. Um, Understanding your technical limitations, definitely understand what you can and cannot do, and make sure to communicate that with the client. If you know nothing about a certain stack that they want you to do a project in, tell them, and tell them, this may not be the best fit, um, and making sure that if you do understand a stack fairly well, say, hey, I've done this with multiple projects, I've worked with it X amount number of years, I know it in and out, I think this is something I can do, I can manage. And then also setting their expectations. So be sure to, when you set a timetable for a client, if you tell them that it will take 4 weeks, that you complete the project in 4 weeks, you definitely don't want to leave a client hanging, or sort of tell them that you need an extension. It's better to overestimate than underestimate. So if you think that a project will take 4 weeks, it's better to tell the client that it'll take 5 weeks to finish the work and have it in early than to have it in 4 weeks in a day and be late. So again, that's something that you'll learn as you sort of grow and develop as a freelancer. And as you sort of assess your own skills and understand what clients' needs are. So required skills for freelance developer. Here's a poll from Lighthouse Labs. So this is a poll that a bunch of freelancers saw or chose as important skills. So time management skills are absolutely key. Communication skills, again, you're talking to clients, you're selling yourself, you're presenting yourself professionally. Above average developer skills, again, definitely making sure that you have a specialty or a proficiency in something is definitely a good way to sort of market yourself. And then business development, this is more in line with sort of promoting yourself as a brand, doing talks, writing articles, having a YouTube presence, a social media presence, that sort of thing. Not absolutely critical, but it's one way to sort of push yourself as a freelancer and to sort of develop a brand. So yeah, and demand is there. Demand is there. So Stack Overflow, which is a site where users can submit technical questions and get answers for them. Here's a chart here with all the in-demand technologies for programming, scripting, and markup languages. And you'll see here that here are all the sought-after technologies. You see JavaScript is up at the top. You see Python and Java there as well. But yeah, there's always going to be demand for JavaScript. Definitely demand for Python and Java. And then, of course, HTML, CSS is kind of standard, and SQL is sort of standard as well if you're working with a database. As far as JavaScript goes, according to 2009's Stack Overflow Developer Survey, JavaScript is the fastest growing language, which overtook Python. So again, it's ubiquitous in the web now, be it the front end, the back end. Data there's multiple different avenues to sort of leverage JavaScript these days. So that's part of the reason why you see it as high as it is. It is, according to Indeed, it's the most in-demand programming language in the job market with 74,000 job postings in 2020. JavaScript professional salary averages 80,000 a year, more with additional skill sets. So if you combine that with other sort of technologies, you can potentially make more if you decide to specialize in JavaScript.